What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We are officially days away from the Royal Rumble, and the vibe this year is incredibly high, like it always is. For the first time ever, the Royal Rumble leaves North America. It is going to be live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this Saturday. 30 men, 30 women, and a card that feels less like a prelude to WrestleMania and more like the main event itself. Today, we're going to look at the confirmed card as we speak. We have the heavy stakes for AJ Styles, the men and women's Rumble, and Sammy and Saudi. This week in WWE history. The date is January 28th, 2018. We saw a night that completely reshaped the roster. Not only did Shinsuke Nakamura win the men's Rumble, but Asuka won the historic first ever women's Royal Rumble match. And if that wasn't enough, moments later, bad reputation hit the speakers, and Ronda Rousey walked out to make her official WWE debut, putting the entire locker room on notice and pointing at the WrestleMania sign over 10 times. All right, let's get into our main event. We're going to run through the preview of the Royal Rumble matches. I'll give my predictions and maybe some surprise entrants that I'll guess that may come out. You never know. That's why I love watching the Rumble. Of course, you want to guess who wins, but I think a lot of us out there like to see, oh, maybe somebody's making a comeback that we haven't seen in a while, or coming back from injury, or maybe a one night only type deal, or maybe a legend just to get the crowd to pop to the music, something like that. But I want to start with the Women's Royal Rumble because honestly, this is probably the hardest one for me to call. The confirmed wrestlers it's pretty stacked, but to me, there are three stories happening at once that are important. Story number one, the redemption of Tiffany Stratton. We haven't seen her since she lost the women's championship to Jade Cargill back in November. We may see her on SmackDown the day before, but she's been off TV for just about 2 months. If she returns to the Rumble on Saturday, it's not just going to be for the crowd pop. You guys know this. She's coming back to win. And I think the story could write itself Saturday. Former center of the universe reclaiming her spot to take down the monster, Jade Cargill. Story number two. It is What About Belair? Bianca Belair, she has been out for almost a year recovering from that hand injury that she suffered at WrestleMania 41 when Rhea Ripley landed on Bianca Belair's hand, crushing her knuckle. And she's been recovering. She's had several delays, as we all know, because she's been gone off TV for quite some time. But it was recently reported the last couple of weeks she is working out. And I think me just reading that and seeing that, I am hoping that she is a surprise entrant. Now, if somehow Bianca Belair does show up, I wouldn't be surprised if she's one of the final three in there, and she could potentially win. The third story for the Women's Rumble match, the Liv Morgan movement. Now, on Instagram, I asked several weeks ago who you thought the winner was going to be for the Men and Women's Rumble, and over 60% of you said Liv Morgan. She's been the runner-up before. She's arguably the most popular female on the roster at this time. But there is, of course, someone that I always think that will stand in her way, and that's Rhea Ripley. Now, keep in mind, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are the current tag team titles. They're what we all consider a super team. And in the Rumbles, usually tag partners protect each other in the Rumble. But then sometimes we also see some animosity. What happens if Io Sky eliminates Rhea? Or if, on the other way, if Rhea dumps Io? I kind of want to see that friendship explode because I'm kind of over them holding the tag team titles. I really need to see Rhea back into the singles arena. And I know people are going to say, oh, Rhea Hogan. That's because she deserves to be there. And I kind of think a tag team title is beneath her. Take her for what you want. Now, all in all, I do think WWE wants the biggest box office match possible for Jade Cargill. And while I do think Liv is the heart, I do think Tiffany Stratton is going to be the money on this. I'm going to pick Tiffy Time to start that road to WrestleMania. Next up, we have the career-threatening match. We have AJ Styles versus Gunther. Now, this match feels like it could be a funeral waiting to happen. And that's because the stipulation is if AJ Styles loses, he must retire. In his own way, it is poetic. AJ debuted at the Rumble exactly 10 years ago, and I think everybody absolutely lost their minds. But now he faces the Ring General, a man who has made a career out of retiring legends. We know this. Gunther's been untouchable. He really is the final boss of this modern era. But AJ Styles, he's been wrestling like a man possessed. He's been on TV every week. And usually the reality is if a guy says, I'll retire if I lose, sometimes they let him lose. But I have a feeling with AJ Styles, I don't think he's done yet. I think this match does steal the show. I think it goes at least 25 minutes because both are great in ring workers. I'm actually really excited to see um, them just put on a fantastic show. And I do think with AJ winning, I think he's going to catch Gunther and maybe like a small package or a desperate roll up. So yeah, my prediction is AJ Styles is going to win. I want him to win. He keeps his career alive, but Gunther will destroy him post match to keep the heat because he is just so good at that right now. Maybe he'll give us a you can't see me after he does all that. Next up, we have the WWE Championship. We have Drew McIntyre champion versus Sami Zayn. And this version of Drew McIntyre, a Scottish psychopath, to me, it is terrifyingly awesome. I think everybody was waiting for Drew to get the title. I know some people got annoyed with him because he just kept losing, kept complaining, and then finally, I think they saw that and they heard that, and they're like, "All right, now we have to turn the volume up on this. We're gonna just make him attack everybody." And of course, his sights were on Cody Rhodes recently, and that's when he won the belt. And since he won that belt in Berlin, he's just been bullying the roster. Then comes in Sami Zayn, and he's just the perfect foil, the ultimate underdog. Gave him that slap on SmackDown last week. And we got to be real. We're in Riyadh. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Does Sami Zayn headline Mania 42 as champion? Personally, I can't see it. I could totally be wrong. But this match is about heat. It's about making the fans believe that Sami can do it, only for Drew to crush that hope. The fan is going to be hot. I'll be curious to see, the crowd's reaction if Sami loses, if Sami wins. Either way, there's going to be an insane reaction to his entrance all the way to his exit. But my prediction, I do think Drew McIntyre retains. I think it's going to be a fantastic match. And I think Drew is just going to be sitting ringside, potentially waiting for the Rumble winner along with CM Punk. We shall see. And that is a perfect segue into the men's Royal Rumble match preview. Now, they haven't confirmed all the wrestlers yet, and just who's been confirmed so far, to me, the list is fantastic already, so I can't wait for it. You got Roman Reigns, you got Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, Gunther. I mean, so many top guys, but the one person that I'm watching and the story that they provide, assuming he's in the Rumble, is Jacob Fatu. I remember Fatu had been out for months with dental surgery and came back recently, altering the title picture by getting into that cage and attacking both Drew and Cody, but Cody ultimately losing that belt to Drew. So Jacob Fatu, when he enters, assuming he's in the Rumble, he's going to clear the ring, period. It's going to be shades of Roman Reigns. He's going to eliminate probably 8 or 9 guys. Do not be shocked by that. Now, you would think that'd be a dark horse. I actually have another dark horse. Watch out for Oba Femi. The former NXT North American champ had been quiet on the main roster because he hasn't made his debut yet. But the Rumble is where monsters are made. Now, I want and expect a face-off between Femi and Jacob Fatu to just shake that ring. I can't wait for that. So many matches into one, which just makes the Royal Rumble my favorite pay-per-view ever, every year. So I've gone back and forth on the Rumble. Now, do I see Cody winning again? To me, it feels repetitive. Roman Reigns, safe pick, but not mine. For me, I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at the next guy who can represent the next generation of speed and power, and he's already there. I guess you could call this a safe pick too, but Braun Breaker is my pick. That to me sets up Braun versus CM Punk again. Two absolute heavyweights just destroying each other at WrestleMania, and I do think Braun will end up winning. But just for the sake of the show today, for the Rumble preview, I do think Braun Breaker will win the Rumble. And before we wrap this up, I asked you all on Instagram, who do you have winning the Royal Rumble for men and women? All right, let's go through these. First up, we have That's Just Chris _. He went on to say Roman. And yeah, I mean, I get it. If Roman is in the match, he instantly becomes the safest pick possible. You don't overthink Roman. You just ask if WWE wants him back in the main event. Next up, we have Ryan Hayes, 213-1984. He went on to say Roman and Liv. Again, can't argue the safe picks. I totally get it. Totally get it. And we have another one, Josh Jennings, fan page. Also went on to say Roman and Liv. At best, next year, I'm going to say, who do you want to win? And maybe you're saying the same people, but okay. All right. Next up, we have Dan the Man Fit 004. He said Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns. Okay. Roman is the megastar. Liv is the momentum pick. If Liv wins, that's a crowd driven WrestleMania moment. All right. Got somebody different here. We have Elias underscore Bailey 04. He went on to say for the men, Braun Breaker. And for the women, Lyra Valkyria. Now that is bold. That's WWE hitting fast forward on the future. And honestly, I'm right there with you on the Braun and Lyra pick. Both of those would be awesome. So again, to recap my official picks, Women's Rumble, I have Tiffany Stratton winning. Men's Rumble, Braun Breaker. I have AJ Styles surviving. And I have Drew McIntyre retaining. It's going to be a long night, but a historic one. Just make sure you check the start time where you live because the time difference in Riyadh, the kickoff is way earlier than usual. So for me, I'm in Florida. I believe it starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, if you enjoyed this dive, do me a favor. Hit that 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Helps grow the community and the Escape crew. And I'll be back next week with the full review and kind of see how everything is going to lead to the road to WrestleMania. But for now, enjoy the Rumble, everybody.